Maypole Farm, and things have changed a little bit in the background. So I have gone over to Auto Drive Guy's YouTube channel and downloaded a complete auto drive network for Maypole Farm, and then gone in and created all of this around the yard. So we've now got waypoints for the farm, for refueling, for the slurry tanks, for the milk refills, for the repair points. I'm kind of excited to see how all that's going to work out. The reason that I've done that is we're going to be pushing the contracting business more, and a lot of that I want to have running automated in the background. So this is kind of more of a testing scenario for me. We've got 20 fertilizing contracts that I'm going to work through using. I'm going to experiment a bit with using auto drive to send stuff around the map. I want to test using auto drive and courseplay together, so sending the tractor off with auto drive with a courseplay course pre-planned so that it will drive there and start work, because I want to start doing that as a way of getting jobs done for the contracting side of this Let's Play. I've just realised that that might not work with seeding contracts because we've got that 5 metre wide seeder that needs to drive down the middle of the road, but other things we should be good. But particularly things like fertilising contracts, ploughing, cultivating once we get a cultivator, that kind of thing. So the first thing I want to get is the Lizard big bag lifter. I used this thing so much at the start of playing FS19 because I could not use pallet forks for my life because I was trying to use the mouse. As soon as I realized there were keys to do it, things became infinitely easier. But before that, I used that a lot, which the guys have ever so helpfully delivered to the farm. So I'm going to send the tractor off to get that, and we'll be back in a bit. Yeah, I used that so much. Picked up from good old Daggerwind when I started playing FS19. It was the only way I could move pallets and stuff around because I had yet to find super strength. So, yep. I think I might have even used it for bale loading and stuff, but here it is. It is a really cool little bit of kit, and what we can use it to do is load fertilizer into our fert spreader once we are away from the store. Now I know I can just back up to them and press R, but that's not what we're doing on here. This is hard mode, so I bought that so we can do it. But yeah, we now need to buy a whole bunch of fertilizer. So I did speak actually in the last video, and I'm curious on people's view. That video hasn't gone live yet when I'm recording this commentary, so I'm a little bit ahead of myself as to so my intent with this side of the Let's Play is we're going to be getting a lot more kit, and the idea is that I'm going to stop leasing equipment to do contracts. So yeah, I've got the custom contracting set up on here, so it's a little bit of a waste for the effort I put in creating that, but I've enjoyed using that, so let's ignore that. And basically what we're going to do is be setting ourselves up as we've got the dairy farm, and we'll have an agricultural contracting business, so we'll be owning the kit. So, but what I'm pondering, and I mentioned it in the last video, is whether we you might have noticed, I've spoken about it before, part of better contracts you can put in consumables like seed and fertilizer and stuff. And so what I'm thinking is that we change completely the setup, and we have it now that the farmer provides the seed and the fertilizer. Curious of your thoughts on that. We'll come back to it at the end with how much of the income from contracting I have to spend buying fertilizer to earn that. So I'm curious on your thoughts on that one. What did confuse me is as soon as we pick the bag up, it registers as being part of what's in the vehicle, so it thinks we have, that's why the numbers looked a bit weird. But we're full now. I'm going to use the telly truck to load up the trailer on the back of the Deutz, and then we can essentially be self-sufficient with the trailer with bags of fertilizer on the back, and then the Fiat with the spreader and the little crane on the back. I've wanted to do this since this released for FS22 because it's what they had in the thumbnails. I think it looks really cool. I think it's a really nice way of doing it. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. 1 second. It has been a reoccurring theme of me recording lately that I keep getting interrupted. Hopefully I can splice this one back together. So yeah, we're going to get this loaded up and get to work. It's a bit of a different video, obviously. What I do need to be doing probably in the next video is prepping for planting our sugar beet. I think we're doing sugar beet. It makes sense. We need to get ourselves a planter as well. So suggestions for a planter would be cool. I do have the big case one installed, but I think that's bigger than we actually want to own initially. I think I'd kind of like a 3-4 meter wide planter, and we maybe get a couple of them for the contracting business eventually. The other thing that I'm looking at, I was kind of gutted. The John Deere 40 series sold while I was doing this. So what I wanted to do, and what was going to be the thumbnail, was me doing all this contracting and then going and buying the John Deere 40 series that was on sale for 30,000 pounds. Didn't work out. So I do want to get a third tractor of this kind of size. I spoke about it in the last video. As I said, that video hasn't gone live yet, so I haven't heard your feedback on that. But yeah, suggestions for a planter. Still interested in suggestions for a tractor on here. The Ursus that I've got installed is an option, but I'm not sure the horsepower is quite high enough. I would like to have a fleet of tractors that can run the plough. Also, the only tractor at the moment that can run the plough is the DS Agri. I would like to have 2 tractors that can run ploughs that size. So I think that means we're looking for 160 horsepower, which the 40 series might not have actually been big enough. So really looking for something about that 160 to 180 horsepower ish, I think. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. And I did actually realise that there's a post in the hedge there. I couldn't, just kind of bend the hedge out of the way. Just for you, Pete. Just for you, that little crash. Yeah, I have realised that I spoke last time about buying a plot of land and building a new yard. I had forgotten that at the north end of the map there is a little contractor's yard, and it's not that expensive. So I think probably we'll set up our contractor's farm up there. It's got plenty of sheds. It's actually got a silo, which is quite cool, which will be good for doing harvesting contracts, and we need to be thinking about getting a combine in summer. Now, hopefully we can time it. So I think I spoke about this in the last video as well. When we hit August, we will open up all of the 90s for kit that we can get. I'm kind of tempted to hang on, there's a bit of me that wants to hang on for getting a tractor, because there are some nice options for tractors that open up as soon as we do that. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, so if I can hang on to August to get the combine, there is actually a class combine in sales at the moment, so that might be another option. I think I need to keep my eye on the sales and think about picking up a combine, which means we need to keep some cash in the bank. The other option we have is we are sitting on a plot of land with the trees on, and if pushed, we could sell that off. That was a winter project. We didn't finish it, but because the idea is that we'll just keep that going. But if a good deal came up on a combine, I think I'd sell that plot of land, get the combine. Yeah. Ideally, DS Agri Services, or whatever we're going to be called, is going to be big. And yeah, I don't want people to worry that this is just going to turn into me doing contracts all the time. It's something that there'll be a mixture of in the gameplay and running in the background, and you know, we might fade it out at some points and just concentrate on our own farm. It's just part of the, you know, this is our long Let's Play. It's going to be a part of it at the moment. You know, it's going to vary. We're maybe not always going to do dairy on here. You know, the neighbours are banging again. Hopefully it doesn't come through. It might, you know, it might be that at some point we change and decide, oh yeah, we're going to give up on dairy farming for a bit, and we're going to be sheep farmers, or we're just going to do arable farming, or whatever. You know, this thing is going to evolve as we go through, based on, you know, maybe based on the maps we end up on. It might be that we end up on a map that's really good for arable farming or whatever, and we go deep into arable farming. You know, I don't know which way we're going to go on this. Hey, it could be that we move over to the mainland and get into some grape farming or something. You know, this is not going to be fixed to just being UK maps. It'd be a bit of a faff, because if we've got a whole load of kit and a business running, and you know we decide to relocate across the world, that would be a bit of a pain. But we'll see. We'll see where this farming life takes us. Good name for a TV show, isn't it? Farming life. Pretty sure that's what the one in the UK was called that I used to watch a lot. Yeah, so I don't want people to think that I'm just going to turn this into endlessly doing 20 contracts a video. Not going to be. And the big thing with this one was the first game day of spring, and there were lots of contracts that cropped up, so I wanted to make some cash basically. Winter is always hard on here because we have to pay the workers' wages and we don't have money coming in. That's getting better with the milk, but you know, there's always that first day of, from memory, of spring where we suddenly have a lot of contracts available and can really start to hammer that income. And it's why I downloaded the auto drive route for the whole map, because I want to have that just running in the background. You know, it'd be really cool as we grow. You know, if we've got, you know, half a dozen workers working for us, we'll be paying their wages obviously, but we'll be busy. You know, that's going to get really tight in winter. But if they're really busy in the summer and doing loads of contracts, and they're just running in the background with auto drive and course play, and as we're going around the map doing our thing, we'll see them, and I really like that. I really like that. It's why I did on here, and you'll see it later on. All the other farms that have animals in them. Some of the farms have vehicles in them, and yeah, it's something that I'm really want to push on this as something a bit different. The Deutz has just turned up, so I'd set also drive to bring the Deutz over while we were working. I very much have got into, it's why I did the grape series, it's why I did Ohio. I've got into a rut of doing, not really a rut, I'm doing 3 series that are very similar, you know. Greenlands, Attingham, here, dairy cows, maize plus, precision farming, and yes, on, you could say on the other 2, I've got different things. Okay, on both I've got sheep on Attingham. Yes, I've got sheep on both. I've got pigs on both. You know, and running them differently, but it's very samey, I think. Now, I think this is a way of still playing in a way that I enjoy. I play those styles because I enjoy playing them. Also, we're going to do a bit more work with the crane here because we need to refill. So, unstrap the bags of fertilizer. Use the crane to grab them and refill. I really like this thing. It's a little bit of effort to drive. The hydraulics are a tad slow. Might have to give it a bit of a service, and it would be nice if it was ever so slightly longer. Yes, that's what she said. But here we go, just loading up. I had to do a little bit of last minute editing there because I'd forgotten between recording this last night and editing it this morning that I had a bunch of me taking screenshots in there. So through the power of seamless editing, hopefully you won't have noticed. What I have noticed is the arm could do with being a little bit longer. I guess that's just the limitations of, you know, the fixed arm is only so long, so the hydraulic extension can only be so long. So we're going to need to pick from each side of the trailer. It's not a problem. But I just think this is a really nice way of being able to support fertilizing a lot of kit. Yeah, so I've spoken about it a fair bit now, but yeah, I think this is a way of changing how I do things a bit. I think it's a little bit unique. I'm not sure. Have to admit, there are only so many farm sim creators that I watch. So yeah, yeah. Stick your feedback below, I guess. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Because it's what we're doing for now. Because I like the idea. I'm going to say at this point, thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys all supporting the channel. If you were to have to pick between one of those, I would recommend Patreon, because it's better value for you. If you go for the £5 tier, you get, we're just going to claim a bunch of contracts. So another nearly 10 grand coming in. Yeah. So, yeah, you get, if you go for the £5 tier, you get extra videos a week, an extra video a week. I get a bit more of the £5. If you go for the YouTube one, YouTube gets a bigger chunk of the money. Either is absolutely fine, or none. It is entirely up to you. There was someone, Ben, who recently became a new YouTube channel member, so yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Anywho, I've done a few more contracts now. We've gotten 4 pretty much done. We do need to send the Deutz back to the store, or take the Deutz back to the store to pick up some more fertilizer. So I don't remember if I show it in the video, but I think this is the point where I set up Horseplay and Auto Drive to go off and do their thing. This felt like a good point to test it. I needed to go and get more fertilizer from the store, because I need to load that manually, obviously. Maybe not obviously. Maybe we could set that up to load with auto load. I'm not really using auto load on here, but you know, maybe you can see we have cows at the farm next to us. As I said, the other farms have animals. It's part of this thing. So yeah, nice little bit of cash there. What's that? 14,000 pounds coming in. And yeah, I think I send the Fiat off to Fiat Field 99 now. You will see it go past us in the background, I think. I'm going to get these loaded up rather badly. I think I want to get I don't know if they do one actually, because this is a telehandler, whether there's a big bag lifter. Yeah, I missed one of the bags, obviously. And I didn't realise until I'd turned, because I was looking out for the Fiat coming past with the spreader on the back any moment now. It's just coming up to the corner of the field and looking at the mini-map as we do this. Yeah. That just made me so happy. I don't know why. Just seeing another tractor going around. I know that's what multiplayer's about, but also if you're a regular, I find it really hard to schedule time for stuff like that. That's why there was a 4-week gap nearly with multiplayer with Cartech and I, because just arranging the two of us was really hard. So actual multiplayer is really difficult for me to schedule. I just like seeing the map alive. And I say that I have traffic turned off, because FS traffic is not realistic in my mind, But that tractor has got itself to the field, and if I had Simple Inspector on, which I need to install on here, we would see that Courseplay switched on and it's now fertilising the field. And that's what I want to have going on. Actually, you can probably see it in a moment on the contracts HUD at the top. You'll see field 99 is 47% complete now. It's been doing that on its own. And that's what I want to have going on in the background whilst I'm doing the other farming jobs. So this video was about, I've never used a complete auto drive network before. That's kind of amazing. I'm shocked by how much work the auto drive guy must put in. If I remember, I'll put a link to his video for this auto drive network below. And as we've arrived, we've run out of fertilizer, so we need to refill. I've never used such a complete auto drive network. It's awesome. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works out. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So yeah, we'll get loaded up and we will crack on. So completely different random topic to talk about. I don't remember what prompted me to write this down, but I have fond memories of it. I think it was a meme on Facebook or something like that. Meals for two. Something that I've never done with Mrs. D. But when I was at uni, I was a larger gentleman, let's say. We're on our last contract now. I did a bunch of others in the background. I was a larger gentleman, let's say. Was friends with some larger gentlemen. And next to the accommodation that I lived in the first year at uni, there was a pub that started advertising a meal for two. And we were there one night. And do you reckon you could eat that? And so we went. I went with one of my two of us went, and we went up to them. Could we have 2 meals for 2, please? And they were very confused because there was only 2 of us. And yeah, we each ate a meal for 2. It was very nice. It was a platter of beige fried stuff, or brown fried stuff. It was good. And yeah, something just reminded me of that a while ago. So yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this, other than it has fond memories of eating silly amounts of food and drinking beer with some friends I think it was probably summertime as well. Yeah, so, good memories. It's kind of one thing that's kind of sad is, I don't know about you guys, as I've got older, when my university friends group has spread across the country over the years. You move around with jobs and stuff and families and what have you, and so yeah, I don't see them very often now. In fact, I don't remember the last time that I actually saw them in person. It's I think it's one of those men things as well. So every so often we will chat on WhatsApp or whatever. We send each other insulting jokes and that kind of thing. But actually, I think the last time I saw them might have been when Mrs. D and I got married. Because so it just kind of, something triggered that in my head. I don't really remember what it was, but anyway, we're done with the contracts. So we have 13 contracts to claim for. So let's do that. We're at, let's call it 15 grand at the moment. Let's claim a bunch of contracts. So there's some nice meaty ones in here. Sort of 5,000+ for fertilizing, and none of them took that long really. So yeah, the money is ticking up quite nicely. We are now on 61,000. So yeah, 40 odd, 45,000. The bit that frustrates me is we got 88,000 in contracting income, but we spent 24,000 on fertilizer. It's a quarter of the money went on fertilizer. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Comments, questions, suggestions below, and I'll see you next time on Maypole Farm.